if the rumours were intensifying about Pogba's exit at Old Trafford with the team in Champions League contention, you can imagine what the talk is now that they failed to reach the Champions League, Stevie. This has just been a disaster from the club. What do they do about Paul Pogba?
Well, I think, personally, what do they do? I think they have to persuade him, if he needs persuading, that he's a huge part of what Manchester United could be again. The question is, all the reports are that Pogba wants out. Again, I personally don't believe that, but if that's the truth, then do you know what? If somebody's willing to pay 120 upwards for a guy who clearly, when things are not going well, wants out, then you take the money. I just don't actually believe that. You know, Paul Pogba came back to Manchester United because of what he feels for the club and what he thinks about the club. You know, it wasn't just about the money for him. So I find it very difficult to believe that he's turning around and saying, right, that's it, I want out. I think all the woes at Manchester United, far too many of them, have been put on the shoulders of Paul Pogba.
He's part of a bigger problem, isn't he? In terms of the decision-making at the club, in terms of why they would sign these players. He came in 2016 for this huge fee. As you rightly mentioned, he was making noises about having stuff left to prove at Man United. Didn't quite work out under Mourinho. That's an understatement. Other players join him, but it started a culture at the club which was very much, we've just got to sign some big names. It doesn't really fit the overall problems we're trying to solve, but it does fit into...
I thought you were going to say the plan, and I was going to say what plan?
Exactly.
Because there really doesn't seem to be a plan, and to back that up, you just have to look at the Alexis Sanchez deal. That's no plan. There's no part of a plan like that. That's a desperation move. And if you're making desperation moves with a lot of money, the chances are you're going to end up losing a lot of money. You know, the Pogba thing, when Man United do well, Pogba's at the centre of it all.
As he is with France.
As he is with France. As he was with Juventus. But because of the surrounding cast, when things are not quite at their best for the team, and he's not quite at his best on the day, he gets the blame. And that's why everybody seems to concentrate on Pogba. We should be talking about what's going on behind the scenes at Manchester United. You know, again, personally, why are you signing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer on a permanent contract as the manager when you need to build a team? He has no experience of building a team at this level. But guess what? We're talking about Pogba again. All the talk's about why Pogba wants to leave. Should he leave? Should he stay? 100%, in my opinion, Paul Pogba has to stay. Manchester United have to get a plan together, have to get a structure in place of how they want to play, the type of characters. You know, years ago, it was 50-50 on ability and character. Now, teams seem to be signing players that can play, and then we'll deal with the character after. That's completely wrong for me. I don't see Pogba as a bad character at all. He gets a lot of stick because he colours his hair, he dyes his hair. So what? Who cares? He gets a haircut every Saturday morning before a game. So what? Who cares? Don't criticise Manchester United because somebody gets a haircut or colours their hair. I think Pogba is way getting too much blame for the problems at Manchester United.
Down one argument, people will say he's not reliable enough or he's not got the strong character that needs to be there in order to build an entire team around him. And that's what Man United need to do, is to replace a whole lot of dead wood, right? On the other side, they've just been making change after change after change in the image of 4 different managers. None of them have quite got the grips of the image that Manchester United need to live up to, which is obviously, namely, Sir Alex Ferguson's era.
Right. I'm sure part of the reason bringing Pogba was to build the team around him. But you know, if you know what you're looking at, you kind of figure out that, okay, maybe he's not the type of guy you build the team around. You know, he's not a Van Dijk sort of character, or a Brian Robson, to use a better example. But what he is, he's a fantastic football player. So try and sort your team out so that he can put his talent on the field in your team. Okay, if he's not the rock that you build round, well, go and get a rock from somewhere. And then, you know what? He'll flourish. I think that's what would happen with Pogba. Surround him, like France do. He's surrounded by great players. And guess who we talk about? Pogba, because he flourishes. Did the same at Juventus, surrounded by great players. What did he do? He flourished. So Manchester United, don't go getting rid of one of your best players. Build a team, build something alongside him that will make him flourish, and the team benefits as well.
Reality bites. Of course, the rumours aren't going away. What happens if they don't get it right? Let's say he does want to stay. What happens if they don't get it right this year? Surely they've only got one more year with this guy, because if it doesn't work out next year, he's got to go.
Yeah, and that would be what? His third season?
He's had 3.
He's had 3 already, so that would be 4. Now, eventually he's going to say, okay, I came to United because I love the club and because I wanted to win things. And after 4 years, that's not happening. I think if he's given everything, which I believe he has every right to think, you know what, I'm talented enough that I don't want to be looking back in my career and not using it to the best of my ability and making the right decisions that were better for me on the field. So if something happened in his brain after the end of next season maybe, and he wanted to leave, I wouldn't blame him. He's given everything, hasn't worked. They haven't put him in a position where he can flourish, which would make the team flourish. So I would have no problem at that stage about him wanting to leave. Right now though, I would have a problem if he did want to leave right now.
All right, so maybe the ball really is in the hierarchy's court. If they make the right moves this summer, maybe they can convince Paul Pogba that he's a massive part to play in the future of Manchester United. If they don't, maybe they push him to the front of the queue in order to get the job done anyway.